started, we'll go ahead and start fleshing this out and doing some coding. So I'm in the document where I did my pseudocode and worked out what functions I'm going to need. I'm going to go ahead and save this now. And let's get into the correct directory. I'm going to save this as tic-tac-toe.cpp. Oh, I thought I'd selected everything there. Get rid of all that garbage. Okay, so let's go ahead and set up our program. I'll give myself an empty line here. Tic-Tac-Toe is the title. And this game will play Tic-Tac-Toe against a human opponent. Okay, now, includes. I almost always need IOStream. And I'm going to be sending string questions, as I determined down here, as I was developing my functions. So I need to include string. I've already decided I'm going to do this as a car vector, so I need vector. And I will probably need algorithm at some point, because of the type of manipulations I'm going to be doing with this particular vector. So I'll go ahead and include that. If later on I determine that I don't need it, I can always take out that include file. It doesn't hurt anything. I will give a directive that I'm using the std namespace. And now there are some, in this case, some things that I need in the way of global constants. Okay, these are going to be constants that are used in my main function, but they're also used in all of my other functions, and I don't want to have to redeclare them. Some of these are just, honestly, going to make things easier. I can define a car constant called x that is just equal to x. That way I don't have to type quotation mark x quotation mark. I've got that defined as a constant. I'm going to do the same thing for O. O. And set that equal to O. I'll also do that for my empty space. So once again, I don't have to type this out. It's already predefined. Empty equals. And that's just a blank space. For my tie, a T. And for no one, an N. That should probably do me for constants. Now, we'll go ahead and do our function prototypes. And since I've already done this down here, I can just copy and paste. I'm going to save my comments for later on in the program where I'm actually where I'm actually defining these functions. I'll delete the comments here. Okay, you notice at this point, I'm taking my planning and putting it straight into my code. Now, there are things that I will have to do here. For example, when I was planning out these, I did not put semicolons. So I need to add those. Okay, so let's take a look here. Function prototypes, instructions, and there's nothing, no arguments for that, and it's void. Car, ask yes, no. We send it a string called question. Int, ask number. We send it a string called question, an integer called high, and an integer called low with a default argument of 0. The next function is a car function called human piece, a car function called opponent, and actually I'm going to drop the piece out of here. It'll just be opponent, and let me go ahead and make that change down here where later on I will do my function definitions as well. And that receives the car piece. Next we have void display board, and we send it a constant reference to the character vector board. Next we have winner, and we send it the constant vector to, or the constant reference to our board vector. We determine if it's legal, and that's a bool function, which means it'll return true or false. Constant reference to our vector board, and whatever move the player requested to make. Now we have a function int human move. Send it the reference, constant reference to our board and the human's character. We have an int computer move, and once again we send it the board. This time not a reference, but the actual board, and then the computer's character. And our final function, we announce the winner, so we send a car called winner, a car called computer, and a car called human. Okay, so that takes care of setting up our program. In the next video, we'll do our main function and start mapping out our other functions.